Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Stainless Steel, the Portuguese campaign. I was getting confused, I couldn't remember what game I was playing. Anyway, yes, it's Stainless Steel. And as we left off last time, we were making the final preparations to drive that nail, that final nail, into the coffin of the faction that is the Moors. We have scrabbled together an army, put in charge of it Egas Costa, 22, son of Prince Vitor the Lazy. He is sailing across post-haste to Algiers to try and see if he can capture this castle. We're a little bit concerned that if they amalgamate all their troops and hole up in here, then we're going to struggle to take it in an all-out assault, and we may have to resort to the tactics that we are employing at Marrakesh, which is a complete and utter starvation of the place. What we could also do is starve them out temporarily, and then once Marrakesh falls in a couple of turns' time, any soldiers that are left from this situation can be put on a boat, and that boat can be shipped across to reinforce so that we can take it a little bit quicker. That's probably more likely to be the case. But either which way you look at it, the Moors are going to fall. The only question is, will our beloved King Alfonso, without the L of course, will he live to see this happen? I'm hoping so. His father died at age 60, I believe, or thereabouts. Now we can see the likes of Demio Pava, 80 years old. We also have a spy, Lopo Pires, who's 66. We've got a pope who is 74. You know, is there an opportunity here for our king to live to those kind of ages, or is it restricted to ancillary characters? I don't know, but I'm hoping that this king can live to a good old age of 80. That'll be kind of cool. We'll see what happens with that. All the building work is done. The only thing I've done off camera is construct a practice range here in Badajoz so that we can get some slightly better archers. We can only recruit levy archers at the moment. We get this practice range, we can start recruiting peasant crossbowmen and regular archers instead of just levy archers. So that'll be that'll be nice. So everything else is being built from last time. We're not building at Granada until the next turn, possibly. Fez and Melilla have to also wait their turn. So yeah, 2 turns until surrender, which means will they surrender this turn? Will they sally forth this turn? Time will only tell. Now we were heading with Francisco Batista here to trade silver. But unfortunately, a Leonese merchant beat us to the punch, and we're not going to try and buy him out because we don't want to tick them off any further. The king has already tramped through their lands and caused concern, so we're going to, in fact, turn our attentions further afield, and we're going to go over to here, to this, which I think might be ivory, possibly, which is also, if it is, that's also pretty lucrative, I believe, so we'll see if we can get across and start trading that instead. So that is that, and everything else is done. So we're going to end the turn and see what today brings. Today's session is probably going to be in the region of about 30 to 40 minutes, a little bit shorter, just because I'm playing at 10:30 at night, and yeah. A, I don't function very well at this hour when it comes to having to think about things, and B, I'll be needing to go to bed for work, so we'll have a nice little shorter session, hopefully at least capture one of the 2 settlements, and we can call it a day. Hopefully on a happy note. The Moorish Caliphate come. What are they doing? Are they speaking with the Sicilians? Oh! Oh! Well, bugger me. It looks as if the Moorish come cap in hand asking for a ceasefire because they fear their demise is imminent. Even if you were to offer me 10,000, 20,000, you're actually bankrupt, you've got no money to offer me anyway, but even if you could offer me 20,000 florins, bouncing my coffers up to near 40,000, I still would not have a ceasefire. So Demio Pava, in his rather elegant way, is going to decline and say, I'm very sorry, but
A shame.
no deal.
Caution is not unwise.
Of course it's not. Any words that come from Mr. Paver's mouth are unwise. Never.
Our discussions come to a close.
Okay, Algiers has been reinforced, as we can see. And that is even without their stray units going inside. So I'm thinking that we have probably underestimated the strength of the Moors slightly. Lorenco Portela. He's there. He's besieging Marrakesh. He's betrothed to get married. I mean, is this a Mickey take? Are they taking the Mickey of the Moors here? Ah, this is so easy starving these people. But I can actually retreat away from the siege, get married, and then come back a little bit later. The Moorish Caliph is dead, probably killed himself, realising that the end is nigh after we've declined their ceasefire. Daimyo Paver sent word that we are not having a ceasefire, and he killed himself. An assassination mission. Target Matteo Schiacca, who is a Sicilian family member. The Pope does not like Sicily, does he? Have they been excommunicated again? Popey, what are you doing? Oh, they're not quite excommunicated, but he wishes their people to be cast into the flames of eternal damnation. Yeah, so do we. Merry celebrations. Another cardinal for the Kingdom of Portugal. Well, well, would you credit that? Shall we take a look at the college people? I think we shall. Yes, we now have Tristo Durao, head of the Preferati, likely to be the next pope perhaps? Possibly. And then we have 3 further bishops in the College of Cardinals, and then another one down there, for a grand total of 5. Pretty nifty. He is orchestrating himself very well, is our king, isn't he? It does pay sometimes to rub shoulders with the religious types. Kingdom of Aragon are at war with France. France in the last session got excommunicated. We were considering, would France be our next target after we have dealt with the Moors? And I think they will be. But Aragon have got in there first. So we'll let them weaken France a little bit perhaps, and then we'll go riding into the battle, banners waving, horns blowing, as if we're going to be the saviours. The cavalry coming to save the day. Yes indeed, right. He's off inside. Our newly acquired family member married our darling princess. He's 33. He's got a loyalty full. He wouldn't even dare turn his back on the Portuguese people. A loyal man is always a blessing. He loves his wife, who is admirable and fair. Although there's troubles at home. His wife has got a secret love? Well, when you're as charming as my dear darling princess, you have people flocking at her feet. But it's just a rumour. Fear not. Egas Costa has been afflicted with scurvy. Holy God. That's not good. Looks like he's not one for the sea. His joints are stiff, his skin is bruised, and his wounds slow to heal. Exactly what you need when you're about to go charging into battle. And here comes the Aragonese. Look, can the Aragonese take out a few of these last remnants of troops? Oh, it will be very useful.
Yes, my lord.
Come forth. Blockade this port.
Blockading trade to this port.
Very good. Okay, they've got a family member here. This is now their Caliph. After the previous one died, he's got his eyes closed. He's probably in prayer. And he has got 8 command. He's pretty nifty on the battlefield, which fills us with a little bit of unease, shall we say. So I wonder if we just want to sit in the sea and see what the Aragonese do before we lay siege, because if they attack us in the back, we could find ourselves in a spot of bother. But then do we want to waste time? We could always retreat to the boat. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually get out
my lord. Leading the men ashore.
And
As you will, my lord.
couldn't
March to battle.
couldn't
Yes. Closing for battle. As you will, my lord. We march to battle. Yes, my lord. This is where we shall meet the enemy. Yes. Closing for battle. Yes, my lord.
Oh,
this is where we shall meet the enemy.
yes, okay. Reminder to self, don't keep clicking attack. Okay, so our target kind of left the scene. There was a Moorish imam down here somewhere that we were going to use Pero Pascal to get his eye in. He is, of course, our 5 subterfuge Assassin's Guild protege, trained killer, hired blade, with a skilled accomplice in tow. However, we have a new target, Matteo Sciacca, slightly more difficult perhaps than a lowly imam, but nonetheless somebody to train oneself on? I think so. If the Pope decrees it. Oh no, it's not the Pope, it's a Council of Nobles. I'm getting completely confused. It's a Council of Nobles, not the Pope. Ah. Oh well. Council of Nobles, Pope. Who cares? All we need to know is that he's got a 46% chance of success. Near enough 50-50. So that could be interesting. We'll see what happens when he gets there. Will he be able to strike the blow? Okay, so building work. We are about 5,000 to spend. Porto has just recently been expanded. So we'll leave that be for now. And it's not really close to our sort of battle lines. So we don't really need buildings there as a priority. So we're going to leave a Porto a little bit longer without any further building work. But I've just got one. Silvers. What are we thinking here? I'm thinking public order could be useful. That would require an inn. 4 turns for 2,000. Town guard would also give public order due to law. And give us spear militia. So do we go happiness or do we go law? 1,500, 2,000. Public order on the cheap. Could actually recruit some more town spear militia for public order because we get 2 free upkeep slots here. We're only using 1 at the moment, but we'll fanny around with those sorts of things a little bit later. Right, Granada. I think we'll go for Aragonese merchant. I think we'll go here. We've gone for a practice range in Badajoz. If we spread the buildings out a little bit and go perhaps for a night stable, or should we go for the drill square? Do we have a drill square here already? Do we have a garrison quarters? Yeah, I think we'll go for a drill square. Here. So by spreading out the buildings across the 2 sites, we kind of save expenses, because we can recruit the archers from up here, but then the foot soldiers from down here, and if we go for perhaps the horses up here, and the catapults and the what do you call them, siege equipment down here, we spread the cost between 2 sites, and that means we don't have to pay twice. We don't have to pay twice as much for doubling up on buildings, if that makes sense. Yes, I like that plan. I like that plan very much. Right, we've got 2,700 left to spend, which means that we could probably go for some communal farming in Fez. Let's give them some farming. Let's show willing, and in Melilla. Perhaps we could do the same there. This is also an opportunity to get some retraining done. Okay, so that works for me. Some retraining. We could go for some communal farming there also. That's going to make us a loss, so I think we'll hold out for now. But we don't even have We don't even have a basic port here. Let's get a basic port. Come on, let's get the basics right. Come on. Yeah, Melilla is obviously our castle here on the African front. Algiers is also a castle as well, so we may have to do some little tinkering around. Do we need as many castles? Algiers as a castle is pretty useful because this is our border with Sicily, who we're at war with. So this is pretty decent. Do we need another castle here? Maybe, I don't know. It's quite expensive to convert them though, so I don't think we're going. Aye, aye, aye.
Even if they do not deserve it, I will offer the infidels a fair fight.
So with one turn left to their surrender, here comes the cavalry. Here comes the cavalry. Can you believe it? He actually, I saw him up here a while ago, and I remember saying, "Who's he going to help?" And he's come down to help these guys. These guys obviously are completely and utterly depleted due to our starvation of the settlement, but they still have a large number of of units in terms of the different types. I still think he should be able to take down both of those. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Let's hope so anyway, because that battle's going to be happening in the next turn. So I think we better just crack on with it, because we really could do with pressing on. Time is ticking away and I don't have much of it left. So yeah, building work is done. Assassin is going over to Mercia to lop off ahead of a Sicilian. We are ready to strike out at Algiers, and we are off to trade ivory.
As you wish.
So other than that,
Continuing on tomorrow, my lord.
let's go. Sicily, are they making moves? Are they making moves? You would want to make moves away from our lands if it's. In fact, we should look at Sicily's strength, seeing as they are hostile and next to us now. All right, they're not going to be. Oh, the balance of power. Ah, this is Costa. This is Egas Costa here. We could withdraw. He looks like he's coming to assist you now. I wonder if we should withdraw and attack once we get alongside. This is an even fight. The men, however, are spread across numerous fronts, and if we can pick them off one at a time, this would be pretty useful, wouldn't it? Picking them off one at a time. I'm apprehensive about this. I really am apprehensive, but you don't. At the very least, we'll absolutely cripple their strength, at the very least. And then if we do that and die, who's going to sweep in and mop up behind us but the Aragonese? That would be a massive kick in the teeth. We got to do it. We got to fight this. There's no option. I'm going to save it just in case we get a crash situation, but we've got no choice. This is a goer.
Men, bring out people of honor, glory.
This is a goer. We can't afford to do anything else. We withdraw. We give them opportunity to gather more troops. And they've attacked us, so they're going to have to come to us. And we've got a massive hill advantage here. I'm thinking, should we just stay plonked right here and let them come to us piecemeal fashion, and we just kind of pick them off one at a time? Right. Right. Control I for infantry. Let's band them together. Single line formation. Let's get them ready. There we go. Spread them across a single line formation. We have a couple of units of knights. Completely in the wrong formation. There we go. Single line formation. We'll have the general and the other army, the other horses on this side. And then we've only got a couple of units of archers, really, so they can be used at some point to do something. Start the battle.
The enemy have brought up more men. They hope to make up in numbers what they lack in bravery.
Right, what we need to do is we need to seriously pick them off really, really quickly, one at a time. We cannot really afford to have them unify all their troops together. So I need to remember, this is why I've paused it really more than anything, I need to remember how to march this formation in line. Is it Alt? Is it Alt and click, or is it Shift and click? Shift and click? It might be. It might be Shift and click. Right. So we're going to Shift and click here. Oh, that's not just be waypoint travel. Right, this could go a little bit wrong, really. The horses are running. Peasant crossbowmen. Desert archers. Spearmen. Right, let's get going. Come on, let's get going here. We can't really afford to lose men willy bloody nilly here. There we go. We got some things happening. We got troops coming from this flank, so we've got to be careful.
The battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
The spear militia, wavering, winded. Here we go. Here we go. We're going in. Right, they're gone. Oh, we got more troops coming this side. Oh, I've crashed. I've crashed!
The enemy have brought up more men. They hope to make up in numbers what they lack in bravery.
Alright, hello and welcome back. As you saw there, the previous battle crashed. And the reason why I left actually the partial battle in is to prove that I didn't reload it just because things weren't going well. The game crashed on me. This is me reloading the save and playing again. The only slight difference is I'm actually recording the commentary after the battle. I decided that I didn't want to start recording the audio again in case it crashed again, so I recorded the battle without the audio. It went through fine, and I thought I'll record the commentary afterwards with a glass of wine. Why not? So yes, this battle actually went through perfectly fine, perfectly reasonably well in terms of the no crashing and stuff. So all that is left for us to do is observe what happened. And as you can see, we deployed exactly as we did the first time around, using our horses to try and flank the opponents. Moved our foot soldiers in as quickly as possible to take down this contingent of the Moors before any of the others could reinforce. This time utilising our horses a little bit more quickly than the first time around before the game crashed on us.
It is unwise to praise the day before sunset, but our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory.
It's a bit premature because there's more troops yet to arrive on the battlefield, but it's a good start, I'll give him that much. Horses are chasing down their crossbowmen. We've got spear militia chasing down their troops there. We don't want that to happen because they're running right into their second contingent of troops, which is coming towards our right flank. Our horses are having a little bit of time catching these peasant crossbowmen, and they are causing some concern, so we...
Our men have slain the Saracen general. Now we must send his men running back to the desert.
Indeed we must. Yeah, we're sending our troops, our horses in pursuit. Here we're checking out how far the third contingent of the Moors are, and they're some way off at this moment in time. At this point I notice that my javelin are getting peppered here. They've been left kind of in isolation, and we decide to try and move them a little bit closer. And at this point I decide that most of the first contingent is pretty much decimated, so we're pulling our men back to the top of the hill to get hill advantage and prepare for the oncoming Moors from contingent number 2 and contingent number 3. In the meantime, mop up the last remnants of this contingent down the hill with our horses. So now the men are being marched pretty quickly up the hill. Could tire them out, but we need to get into position as quickly as possible.
If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours. The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
He's very talkative, this man. I didn't notice. You don't tend to notice his chitter-chatter when you're fighting. you certainly notice it when you're trying to record commentary afterwards, though. Yeah. They have desert archers who have a very devastating range, and they are causing a little bit of concern. So at this point, I noticed that they have cavalry, light cavalry, they have peasant crossbowmen, they have desert archers. So other than the spear, and they've got Bedouin infantry, other than the spears, that second contingent that's coming towards our right flank, what was our right flank, is actually pretty ripe for some horses to mow down those people. So that's what we start to put into place, and we start to charge our horses right into the heart of their desert archers, hoping that their spearmen don't turn on us. So here come the mailed knights, here comes the general, here comes the Jeannettes, as I wheel them away from the spear militia, or the Nubian spears. We're just trying to limit their missile capability.
It's unwise to praise the day before sunset, but our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy.
This third contingent is now beginning to bear down upon us. 2 units of spear to take down the Nubians, and then we start to reposition our right flank to prepare to embrace the enemy. Meanwhile, this slight left flank here, a couple of units are going to be wheeled around to face the top of the hill for the upcoming fourth contingent. And at this point we can hear a lot of our horses dying, but I couldn't figure out what the hell was killing them. But I did attempt to pull them out as quickly as possible and turn their attentions to the rapidly rerouting Nubian spears, but at this moment in time they've got a little bit of a mind of their own. They're just running around. Despite my urgings to stop, they're just running a little bit loose. The general losing a slight control of his men, who are headstrong and trying to massacre the peasant crossbowmen.
The enemy general lies dead. Good riddance to that desert dog. Pray his death will break his immense resolve.
And we are still losing a fair few horses, which is not pleasing, but they've served their purpose and routed pretty much the second contingent, so we're happy with that. Now we've got the fourth contingent marching up the hill, and that is a contingent that has the Caliph in it. As you can see, the Caliph's horses just behind the spears. So what we're doing now is we're just moving our levy archers in to harass our Nubian spears also, and then we've got a Nubian spear just on the left hand side there, just ambling along. We'll deal with those very shortly, no doubt. And our horses are completely and utterly still isolated, and still those desert archers are not dead. So we sent our general in to deal with those, and then we're pulling back two, or what's left of the 2 units of horses, to assist us here with these Nubian spears.
If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
General taking down the archers who are now routing, and now we bring these horses back to do a rear hammer and anvil style attack on these couple of spear units that have got our left flank engaged. And now decide to push on with my main force here on this side, march them into melee combat, and that should give us the opportunity to start
The enemy
doing some
flees
damage.
the battle. Run down those worthless peasants.
Okay, and our hammer anvil worked to perfection there, and the spears are routing. As you can see, our levy archers have done their job and have pulled away the Caliph for the time being, who is hell-bent on chasing them halfway across the world. We now are bringing back the rest of our horses, who have done their job, because they have some peasant crossbowmen
The
here.
enemy flees the battle. Run down those worthless
The
peasants.
Sudanese javelinmen are in skirmish mode. We can see some ballista bolts flying.
Only half the enemy force remains.
And now we have another unit of horses coming back in, and the camels, the enemy camels are riding in, so we decide to turn our horses' attentions to those. We noticed that the Nubians, there was 2 units of Nubian spears, one routed, this second one is standing fast and is still going strong, so something needs to be done about them. Meanwhile, the camels have dispatched and are now fighting to the death. Their javelinmen are still running around in skirmish mode, not really doing too much. So they'll be dealt with, no doubt, very swiftly shortly. We decide to send what's left of our horses into the backs of the Nubian spears that are still fighting on in the woods. And that sends them routing. Our general wants to get involved in the slaughter, which he does quite promptly. And now we have completely decimated the Nubian spears from the top of the hill. But as you can see, our archers have worn down the Caliph, who has turned his attentions now back on our main force, and our archers are still alive. So that's a positive result. They did their job. Bit of diversionary tactics. We now decide to pepper the Caliph with some javelins, and we prepare our 3 units of spears, who have got gold armour, don't forget, so they should be quite proficient enough to be able to deal with the Caliph. We send some troops to mop up the last of the Sudanese javelinmen, who are still there dancing around like idiots. And now we start to position our spear militia to envelop the Caliph for a hopefully slow and painful death. Still a bit of mopping up to do, but our horses now are in prime position
Battle is in our
to take
favor.
care of the
If
javelinmen.
we remain true and wholehearted, victory will
And
be
we
ours.
decide that our general needs to, well, needs to get involved here. So he starts to pull him back with the intentions of having him fight the Caliph head to head.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
But we've got a few javelins left that we can pepper into the backs of the Caliph's unit, which they're about to do now. And loose! And that took care of a couple, I think. A couple of horses fell there due to the javelin fire. And another volley, you can just about hear it there, another volley got loosed. And there's probably room for one more volley. The horses have done their job on the javelinmen. These peasant crossbow are still running loose. They're still not routing. So, 4 legs are faster than 2. Send the horses after them. Make sure that none of them survive. The Caliph is still fighting on. 18 horses left. He's fighting a losing battle though. I mean, he's killed a hell of a lot more spearmen than have killed his horses, to be fair to him, but we've got him pinned down. And we are now beginning to canter Egas Costa around to the exposed flank of the general's unit, the Caliph's unit. He's got scurvy, don't forget, but he's still going to be victorious. Scurvy couldn't stop him. The Caliph couldn't stop him. It's good enough for us. And now he moves in. He moves in to mop up. We drag our spears through because they're a little bit too far away for our liking, and that triggers
the enemy flees
the rout.
Run down.
And they all fall. None of them escape. The Caliph is dead. Which leaves us chasing down some crossbow who we have caught and are now routing. But the battle is not yet over. There's somebody hiding. There's a unit somewhere. Where is it? Who is it? We must kill them. They're here somewhere. But where are they? Ah! We hear them. They're there. It's the ballista units.
Praise the Almighty! Our enemy has lost his stomach to fight. We must push our advantage.
And push it we did. Victory for Egas? I can't remember his name. Egas. Yes, Egas Costa. Victory for the scurvy-ridden Egas Costa.
Remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
For the loss of only 642 men. Not bad. Not bad at all. And the faction leader, ransom value of 12,000. I thought, well, you know what? We'll give him the option. If you can afford it, you can have him back. But they couldn't afford it. And so, we chopped his head off. Now, we haven't taken the settlement because they've got a few last dregs in there by the looks of it. But we will take it very shortly after this. But before we take it, look what's happened. Lorenco Portella is under attack. It's a very similar balance of power and a similar type of situation. Two units, or two armies rather. Deal with them one at a time. One of them is severely depleted, low morale and starving. The other one, well, could be semi-decent. To find out what happens, join me next time. And it will be the episode where the Mauls fall. Until then, see you soon.